Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Evan. I'm working on Lightpad. And today with us is Jeremy Taylor, who works in JAX on XTDB project, which is a bitemporal database. His handle is Rapset on Twitter and other spaces, and Zulip and Clojure and Slack. And we wanted to share with you how you can write Mali schema transformations to make more out of your Mali schemas. So Jeremy's idea was to transform Mali schemas to Avro schemas, if I got them right.
Well, that's certainly one possibility. More broadly, it's like what attracts people to Avro. It's got a close association with the Kafka ecosystem, but people, I've spoken to various organizations where they're using Avro really to guarantee the forwards and backwards compatibility of schemas. So yeah, I had this idea of discussing whether Mali captures everything that Avro can do.
Yeah.
And I guess if you can output Avro, that's really good.
Awesome. Then let's get a simple Avro schema and schema-like example, and I'll try to guide you through transforming a Mali schema to the required Avro schema. I think that would be a good call. So, like, is this a good example? I will share this with you on Slack. If you agree on that, we can try to transform this.
Yeah, I mean, can't get much simpler than that. I admit I don't know Avro sort of off the back of my hand.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that looks good.
So yeah. So we have this Avro schema. Yeah, let's
turn it into Eden.
Yeah, let's convert this to Eden. Sorry, this is that we're doing this live. Okay. So type. And the default value should be this. And yeah. Okay, I think it's good.
Yep, that was good.
Def, we'll call it a Avro example. Yeah, so in Mali, you would describe this as if Mali X, I'll say schema, then so we're describing a user, so which looks like a map. So it will have these properties. We'll have name, type string, favorite number, type int, favorite color, string, and so in Mali you can So this is how, well, Mali's anatomy for those who see Mali schemas for the first time. So anatomy of Mali's map schema, yeah. It's a vector of vectors. The most basic example is
So the order doesn't matter.
Vectors.
The order of those vectors doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, the order doesn't matter, but also Mali preserves order. So it can be useful for you if you want to generate any presentations, like any visual interfaces from that. So for instance, for HTML forms, yeah. So, and well, anatomy goes like this. Then for each property definition, you have a vector, which, like, first element of it will be property name, and as it will be in the example map, and second optional argument is a map of options for this property in which you can specify any metadata. You can also specify, you can say if it's optional. You can also specify a default value, which is green for this favorite color, and the last argument, also the third argument here, is a property predicate, which can be a simple predicate like a string or int, or it can be a complex predicate that it must be a string, but also it must
start with,
yeah, it must specify regex. Yeah, so let's start with, I don't know, like color prefix, color like this, which also can be substituted with the regex, but with a simple regex predicate. But you get the gist that you can specify multiple predicates. Yeah, you can, well, all those you can find in Mali repo. Yeah, we want, so we want to show you how to transform things from Mali schemas into something useful for you. So after you get this map, after you describe your Mali schema, so let's say you want to, you also can specify options for this map. So you can say avro type record and avro, let it be your namespace then. Like, let's be avro name user, and also avro type record, avro namespace sample avro. Right. So yeah, maps also can have options. So let's start transforming. So we want this, so we want to get this map out of this Mali schema. So we want to get data from our Mali schema. So if I eval this into REPL, you see it gets this. Okay, so it shows you this map definition. So if it shows it to you like this, then you can just call directly children on it. Mali X. So Mali refers to Mali core. And yeah, so Mali children will give you a vector of vectors. So each vector in here is a, should I call it normalized vector? Because each vector in here will contain, yeah, property name, property options.
Oh, okay, because it's got the nils in.
Yeah.
Yeah, conformed maybe is the word.
Conformed. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. And so we can iterate over that. So we put it in a threading macro, and we can iterate over that. And we say we want to convert each child property from the Mali schema to an Avro field definition. Then we'll say, we'll define this function then. Mali prop def into Avro field def. Then I create this. I define this function. So as you remember, it will get a vector with a prop name, prop ops, and prop schema, reference. Because it may be a reference, because in a general case, so we're working with a simple case here. And after this, we'll get to a more complex case if we have time.
Yeah, like schemas can refer to each other, can't they?
Yeah, because in a more complex case, you will have a registry attached to your schema. And then these properties, they will be, property here can refer to another schema definition from this registry, and so you will have to reference that. So even here, I will treat it as a reference. And also, you must know that this string here isn't a regular Clojure string. So it will be a Mali schema string thing. Yeah, so you can't trust your eyes when you evil Mali things. You have to stay cautious. Yeah. So prop schema ref. So in order to get, so I'll show it to you here, I guess. I'll just duplicate that. We'll take a first thing, and then we'll take last thing. So it says it's a string, but if I take Clojure type from it, it's a Mali schema. So, but then you can take,
extract the internal Mali name from that. Because a predicate will have a name, right?
Yeah.
Keyword name.
Yeah. But then if you call Mali form on it, then this will return you a Clojure symbol. This is now a Clojure symbol, which can be evaled right into a Clojure function.
But that's the wrong string, right? I mean, because potentially Mali could be using a different implementation of string.
Yeah. Well, this
So
one seems to be a Clojure core string. Yeah, but
yeah, but we don't know for sure whether that's the implementation Mali uses. I mean, looking at the source code.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
638 in Mali core. Yeah, you see it is using Clojure string, I think.
Yeah, maybe a good precaution to not trust it also. Yeah, but yeah, Maliform is should be like pretty stable. This result should be pretty stable in that it's a string symbol, so you can compare and well, yeah, in Mali for simple value types, usually you have you can use either a symbol or a keyword like this. So this will be the same. It will. I don't know if it will equal to the same outcome. No, it won't equal to the same outcome. Yeah, so you should like in your dispatches you have to take this into account. Yeah, so this schema ref, I'll do back to our transformation into Avro field definition. I will do a ref hole. This is what yeah, this should always like the ref hole will always give you a schema definition, not a reference, but a definition. So if any of those properties here was referring to another map in a registry, this ref all would return you the map definition itself. So it's very useful, and
that's recursive.
Yeah, it's a recursive dereference until it gets you a schema, actual schema definition. Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll also call this def, like prop schema def, and schema form will be a form schema def, and then we place our dispatch thing called this thing in a set if it's a string or a string keyword. Then
you could also coerce. I think you could just coerce it to a keyword. Like if you coerce a keyword to a keyword, it's still a keyword. And if you coerce the string, the symbol to the keyword, it will also be the keyword.
Will it? Yeah, but
I mean, it's like a small thing. I was just
what keyword
thinking about the best way to do that.
Will be a different keyword.
Oh,
yeah.
Because it doesn't have a question mark.
Yeah.
Got it. Right. Okay. Got it. Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do this. Oops. Yeah. This. No. I'm sorry.
Okay. And we're using the set as a function here, which is nice.
Yeah. We're using our nice Clojure stuff. Okay. So this will be cast to string, else, so default. Let's just throw an else. Example. Typecast not implemented. Is this a good English?
Yep.
Also, schema form. No. Yeah. Prop. Yeah. Well, other types will be like to suffice. Our thing will be int and pos int. This should be cast to int. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much.
That's it. We don't need any. Yeah.
this is to Avro. Well, this is Avro type. Avro type. Avro field
type. Yeah.
type. Yeah, so field type is prop def to Avro field type. Def. And so this thing now can return the whole thing, which will be this field type. Also default. What can it be? It can be, are there optional things in Avro? Or do you know if there are like field modifiers to mark it as optional or required? Yeah, anyway, I can find it.
No, I don't know any. I can look them up.
The default, yeah, let's try if there is a default value. Or we can say, yeah, we can say merge. Merge with select keys, robots. Default. So some fields we copy. And what else? Name, right, name. Name should be prop name. Name from prop name, actually. Yeah. So schema form. I need here. So also don't need here. So this all loads, and this.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, I was surprised that worked because prop def. That Mali prop def to Avro field type that needs changing, right? That the inputs, the function arguments.
Not. Does it? Is it? I mean, so from children, so it will get vectors. This thing is the first one, is the main one that converts schema children. Well, this property definitions to Avro field definitions, which is this prop name ops and all that. And so this is, I referenced this as a prop def, and this then field type I get from this thing, which also accepts again the whole thing. Well, it can be simplified, but
okay.
I like to keep it.
Yeah, true. Okay.
I like to keep it as a vector just in case if I will need options to dispatch or maybe prop name to dispatch. Yeah, and after this code evolves, and after you're pretty sure, then you can streamline it, I think. That's how.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I missed that you've done it as prop def.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we have our Avro field definitions. And so
looks good.
The only thing left is to do these Avro type namespace things and fields. Yeah, so we encapsulate all this. Okay, sorry for, no, it's not encapsulate properly. We wrap all this into Mali schema to Avro. Is it Avro schema? It should be Avro schema,
I think that's correct, yeah.
Okay, Mali schema, which can be, well, this can be this map. Well, for the viewers, I will say that it can be this map thing, right? That you saw earlier, which looks like nice and cozy. By the way, it's it's not a closure data. It's although it looks like closure data, it's not a closure data. That's why we're recording this thing, because Mali is tricky. So this is a Mali scheme, and if you evaluate type of Mali X, it's
so
Mali
someone's overridden
schema.
the printer, the writer for the print function.
Yeah.
So that it looks like Eden is not.
Yeah, that's so yeah, which is like both useful and a bit confusing when you get to it the first time. But yeah,
it'd be nice if the color highlighting was like a different color or something, so you could tell the difference.
But yeah, but when you get used to it, it's okay, it's useful. But you can get closure data structure from it if you call form on it. So, and this will be, now it's a vector. But it also can be, if like in a more general case with Mali, you will define a registry like this, or you will compose a registry like this with different properties referencing each other. And for instance, this is a registry for a to-do application example, and so it has this task map, and which can just instead of those vector properties, it can just reference predefined properties that were predefined in the registry. And then when you in order to grab this concrete schema, you say you define this, you write this vector schema, you say take this registry, and from it take task. And I wrap it into Mali schema so that we would get this into this Mali world. How do you call this? Alice in Wonderland. What was it like behind the mirror? Is it the Wonderland, or what is it?
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I want to say Narnia. That's completely wrong.
In Russian, we call it like a place behind the mirror, but we have like a single word for it with a prefix. So we say zazerkalye. So za means behind, and zerkalye means like mirror thing, mirror place. So like place
I like
behind
that.
the mirror.
That's because of Alice in Wonderland. Like that's the only reason that exists.
Yeah. So well, like after yeah, I mean, I use this metaphor because so after we evaluate schema on this, we get, this is the Wonderland, this is Mali's Wonderland. We are behind the mirror, although it looks like a data structure, a closure data structure, it's not, it's a Mali's data structure. Yeah, so, and if we get type from that, it says it's a schema. If we get so Mali type says it's a schema, Clojure core type says it's a Mali core schema again. If we deref that, yeah. So first deref, again, gives us only this keyword, which we can call a schema reference again. So both this and this keyword in Mali world are called ref schemas. So if we go by the ref, we can see, so if it satisfies this ref schema, so the ref gives you, the ref only does the ref if you give it a ref schema. So deref means it's an idempotent operation, because when you get a map schema, then a new deref will return you the same map schema, so you can call any amount of derefs. But Mali devs already did it for you, and they did a deref all. Yeah, so this is the Mali quirk with this double wrapping. Usually it's a double wrapping. I haven't encountered anything beyond double wrapping. Yeah, so type from of this deref is again Mali schema. Yeah, it also, yeah, this satisfies ref schema, and this satisfies ref schema, but type from deref all is a map. So if we take deref all, we'll get this definition, the schema definition. Yeah, we can call it like a schema definition, because it's a schema body. And if you ever want to get out of this Mali Wonderland, then you can call form on it. And so this, after deref all, this is still Mali Wonderland. After form, this is playing Clojure World. So if I call type here, I get persistent vector. And also form, if I remember correctly, it's also, so the whole data structure will be out of Mali's Wonderland. So all of this will be in plain Clojure World. So yeah.
If you look at the definition of the print method writer in the core namespace, it actually just calls form. So it just does exactly this. It calls form and then the push run form.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, how do I? Is it somewhere here?
It's right at the top. It's like writer or something. Yeah, yeah. So that third one, on that def method, yeah, that one. You see, it calls form, and then
yeah,
push from the form. Yeah. So it's like doing the same as what you just showed. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, back to our Avro scheme. So I was why we did this dive is because I wanted to. This was a preface to me calling a deref all on this Mali schema. So because this can be a Mali schema ref, and we want schema def definition. We want its body, so we will do say schema def, and we do then deref all. Now schema. And yeah, schema form. Then form from this schema def. And schema opts is just second from schema form. I hope so. We'll check if it works if I remove the options. Okay, so now we have schema options. We also have our Avro fields. Sorry. Children from schema form, schema def, sorry. Yeah, map. What was map v?
Yeah.
Prop def to Avro field.
No, it's the other one, isn't it? Def. Yeah.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah.
Fields.
Cool.
Okay. Then what was it? Namespace type name fields. No, how did we define? Okay, we defined everything like this. Namespace. It's our namespace from schema opt. What was next? Name.
Name, yeah.
Avro name.
And then type.
Type. Fields. Avro
Or
fields.
just Avro field, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Okay.
Cool.
And then another schema to Avro schema.
MaliX.
MaliX, yes, thank you. Okay. Yes, works.
Yeah, looks right.
Cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you. We did it.
And then obviously you can turn it back into JSON trivially.
Yeah.
Not that that's
Yeah,
important.
we won't cover JSON thing here. Yeah. But yeah, then you can emit this into file.
You asked about does Avro support optional or optionality, and it doesn't. Like everything in Avro needs to be provided, but you can create a union type with undefined. So like you can have type string or undefined. So you can have a vector. So you have type string, like type open vector string undefined, and then it's a union type. I'm not suggesting that's a good idea. I don't know. I mean, when me and Ivan were discussing this a few weeks ago about having this call, I'd mentioned that I just watched Richard Keys Maybe Not talk again, and I'm still, I guess, confused or torn as to how to fuse those ideas of optionality into like the Mali schema that we've got, or whatever we're generating for Avro.
How would that how would that look, the union type?
The Avro.
Union.
The Avro. Let me ping you a link.
Union.
Just on Slack.
Just to. Interesting. Okay, type null and string. Default now, got it. Okay, this could be. Can we? Not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how to do this in Mali. This should be a subject for another lecture. I can say, yeah, I can mention for those unfamiliar with Mali that all the properties by default they are required, and also by default Mali's map different schema is open, is a schema for an open map. You can make it closed if you specify, well, option closed. True. And you can make a property optional if you say optional true. Yeah. So yeah, I guess in this case, we could emit a different, yeah, we could emit this Avro union type with null. So yeah, let's say it's MaliX2, where this thing is optional.
So close just means you can't put random extra keywords in the map. So we're not going to really use that here, but yeah, that's obviously important if you're trying to lock down the generation.
Say again, not following.
Well, like we're not going to make use of the closed true here.
Yeah, yeah, I think
you just explain what it does.
Yeah. Although are Avro's schemas, are they closed? Do you know? I mean, I'm super unfamiliar with Avro.
I expect they are. Yeah, they're like strongly typed because it's like a binary. It generates binary, like a binary format.
Okay, so
it's definitely closed.
Definitely closed. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we can try. So if we have this optional thing, then we can modify our dispatch and add to Avro field type.
Did you want to just paste the example of the Avro from Stack Overflow in here, just so people can understand what we're aiming for?
Sure.
Well, I guess you want to change it to Eden as well.
Type string default undefined. But yeah, it also says that it can be undefined, although like a property can be undefined, so optional can be undefined, but also fill mandatory. Oh, okay. If you want it to be optional.
Yeah, so undefined means you can skip it. Yeah.
But what does it mean to skip it? Okay, Avro field. Well, yeah. So there's a Stack Overflow example. I'm sorry. Oops. This. Yeah, so it would look like this. The Avro thing. Yeah, if a username was optional, it would look like this. So it's just the type definition is what? Yeah. Is this okay? By default null and yeah. Yeah, is so, but Avro is defined in JSON. Is it JSON? Is Avro compatible with JSON?
Yeah, it gets serialized. It can be serialized as JSON. I'm like 90% sure of that.
Okay.
So null is fine. Undefined wouldn't work.
Okay, so for to emit this this new type thing, we only need, I guess, to what is it? Yeah, to look into our prop ops. So if it's optional, optional prop ops, then we say, yeah, I guess this will be a base type. Sorry, okay. So if it's optional,
so that'd be like a union type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope this Stack Overflow answer is alright, because they have like, so here null is a string but default null is a null. But I'll do as in a Stack Overflow example. I'm sorry. Yeah, if there are people watching who know Avro better, yeah, please.
In this example, instead of writing string, you can do base type, right? Instead of string.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Base type. All right.
And then you want to add default. Although I think default what I was just reading. Default automatically infers the default from the first
Yeah.
of the unions. So default null is implicit. So I
Well,
don't think you have to worry about
anyway,
that.
it will get, so the way we wrote it right now, it gets default from prop options. So yeah, like the
Oh, I
if
see.
if
Yeah,
if we
okay.
specify a
Yeah.
default in Mali, it will take it. So
Yeah,
we take
that makes sense.
take this Mali
Although
x2.
default nil would probably not work.
Yeah, interesting. But okay, for simplicity, for yeah, to make it in the time we have, yeah, let's say this. So this all works. The asserts is passing. Cool. Okay. So yeah, I think, well, these are the main quirks that I wanted to notify you about. Like, so we generated our base Avro schema, basic Avro schema. And yeah, I will just remind you of the quirks that, yeah, in Mali you have, it looks that Mali thinks that you evaluate in Mali, they look like normal Clojure, but sometimes, often, well, most of the time they're actually Mali Wonderland Clojure, and albeit they look like plain Clojure, they aren't. So you have to use the ref wall to go from a schema reference, or ref schema as it's called in Mali, to the schema definition itself. And then on a schema definition, you can call, you can use regular tools like, so after I did that ref all, I use either mform or mchildren. I call it on schema definition. So an mform will return you the plain Clojure data structure, and I will also check. So if I remove the whole map,
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract. Just
yeah,
thinking in the background.
if I remove the whole map, let's check if it's, what will it return? I hope it's not too broken. Yeah, no, I mean, okay. Yeah, so remove the options map from Alex2. Yeah, so it still is a normalized thing, I believe. Okay, let's run schema opts, run just schema form. No, okay, I was wrong. It's not conformed. So I guess, yeah. How would you get this then? Should you call a, is there any, yeah, it has special options thing. Awesome. Okay. So then I'll call options, but then it's a question, what options will it get? Because it can, if I recall it correctly, sometimes it gets you from schema def. Yes, of course. Okay. Yeah, it's nil, but what kind of nil it is. Okay.
Did
Yeah,
you
well,
eval it?
yeah, I get. Okay, so what we can do, we can kill this. We can return our second thing and figure out the options there. Second and map. Okay, no, so we take children. What if we take options from here? Okay, to ref. Returns nothing. So what is this option then? Is there anything else?
What is it? Properties? Maybe instead of.
Maybe. Okay, awesome. Good call. Yeah, we're saved then. Awesome. Okay, great. Yeah, then just echo and properties. Thanks.
No, schema
from
def.
schema
And then I
def.
guess you want to rename it from ops to props or something, schema props.
Yes, but we. Okay. No, but do I? Okay.
I don't know, just to align the
Yes.
terminology.
Yes. Let's be aligned with. Okay. So yeah. After this small detour, we're still good on our asserts. Yeah. So you have to remember about this Wonderland. Remember about the ref all. So and props and properties for map and yeah, about the difference between schema reference. So like if you have any incoming schema in your transformation, remember that it could be a schema reference and don't forget to ref it. And yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's very after you get into this flow, it's pretty easy and cheap to write your transformations and to transform Mali schemas to any other Clojure data, and then which can then be serialized into JSONs and everything. And yeah, well, you should, like, if you know Mali, you should probably know about that you can generate dot, well, which is a graph markup. You can generate dot files from it. Yeah, you can generate CLJ Condo thing. You can also generate. So I personally wrote the code which is in this library in Mali CodeGen, which was initiated by Dan Wingo, and I helped him to write this stuff. So you can generate Clojure alpha specs from it. Yeah.
Is that because they execute faster or at compile time or something?
No, it's just no. He wanted to use it in as guardrails.
Oh, okay, and that only accepts specs.
So yeah, one of his idea was to use Mali specs for everything. So we would generate Clojure alpha specs to use in what was it called, like there was a front-end framework for JavaScript, like a full stack
The
thing.
Fulcro.
Fulcro, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So to use in Fulcro. Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. I wish you luck in generating your favorite data structures and validators from MaliSpec.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Evan. That's good.
Yeah, thank you for the company, and yeah, thank you for the corrections with the help and all that. Righty.
That's been great.
So I'll stop the recording now.
Cool.